So, hello everyone. Today we will be doing Cortices technique and a tapping for balancing our masculine and feminine energy. So we'll start with reading what Louise Hay says about our masculine and feminine energy. Let's go to... So basically our masculine and feminine energy is the left and right side. Left is feminine, right is masculine. So from this book, how you would find it is by looking for, we'll start with the left side of the body. Okay. Oh. So Louise Hay says for the left side of the body, it represents receptivity, taking in, feminine energy, women, the mother. Now, working on the mother is very powerful in a sense that when we work on our mother issues or our mother wound, essentially what we're working on is abundance in life. Abundance in money, abundance in relationships, abundance in having a good relationship with your own self and your own body. Because until we are 2 years old, we don't know, as a baby, we do not know the difference between us and our mom. Our mom is our whole world until we're a certain age. Past two, but until we're 2 years old, we don't have the sense of what an identity is. So our identity is basically our mother. And so sometimes we're unable to come out of that, even as adults, without the proper work on ourselves, work on internal self. We sometimes still act as if we are our mother. And it's great if we pick up only the good things, but what usually happens is we pick up also the negative things. And out of a blind, unconscious loyalty towards our mother, the parts of her we do not like is the parts of her that live within us the most. Why? Because it feels, as in our soul, it feels wrong to not like our mother or hate certain parts of her. And so our soul decides to make up for that, I will pick it up for myself. So we will work on just kind of releasing the parts of our mothers that we don't like, respecting that that is her fate and destiny, and choosing only the good things to keep from her as a way to honor her. Because as children, we just want to honor our parents. We just want to love them. And we can, but we can start doing it in ways that don't have to hurt us. So that is the left side of the body. Again, it represents receptivity, taking in feminine energy, women, the mother. The affirmation Louise Hay says is, my feminine energy is beautifully balanced. And then right side of the body. So that would be father. M-N-O-P-Q-R. Okay. Right side of the body. So right side is giving out, letting go, masculine energy, men, the father. Now, what does the father represent in our lives, or how the father wound affects us? It affects our ability to have boundaries. So if you're somebody who feels like you need more work on having better boundaries, then you need to be able to work on, no, then you can choose to work on your father wound. Aside from boundaries, it's also our relationship with the world, the physical world. So if you're having issues with life, with the world, if you feel like you don't belong, then the father wound is where we would go to work on that. Now, again, right side is giving out, letting go. So if you're somebody who has issues hoarding physical things and other things like excess weight, other things like excess memories that we don't need. We keep living in the past. We keep living in these memories that no longer exist. And we're unable to let them go. We're unable to live in the present moment. we would work on the father wound. So today we're going to be touching on both. And the affirmation of right side of the body is, I balance my masculine energy easily and effortlessly. I usually like changing effortlessly with loving. So you can say, I balance my masculine energy easily and lovingly. So we will start with the Cortices technique. It has changed my life ever since I picked this routine up into my life. How has it changed my life? One is I feel more balanced in earning money and spending money because I was always stuck between the two. When I earn money, I get scared to spend it. And when I have money and I'm not earning money, I get, really stressed and I just keep hoarding and hoarding. So that's one way. Another way that's changed my life is I started noticing that every time I eat my food, what I'm eating essentially is a gift from Mother Nature. It is her creative power that has made food so fun, so creative. And I realized nourishment, food is about nourishing ourselves, but somehow Mother Nature made nourishment fun. And when I'm able to recognize in these small things like my food that there's creativity here, I feel more in touch with my creative side. So that's just one of the few ways that my life has changed since doing the Cortices technique. And I hope somehow it helps you change your life for the better as well. Now, the Cortices technique. There are a couple different ways. You can find them on YouTube as well. But here's how I do it. First, we'll get our hand. Our hand is so powerful, it has electromagnetic power. This hand can literally attract anything in the world. In this hand, using that power, we're going to balance the both sides of our brain. Now, as you know, we have a split brain. Our brain is not just one whole. There's a side to it, a left and a right side. So we want these two sides of the brain to communicate with each other so that we feel balanced. And one way to do that is by kind of introducing them to each other, like, hello, hello, here you are, here you are. So we'll start with this hand. I like starting with my left hand, and I put my hand at the base of my skull. And what I'm doing is I'm already sending energy to both sides of my brain. And then using my fingers, we will tap on our head and we will tap on both left and right side. So using our fingers will make sure to touch both sides. So as you can see, I'm not just tapping on the center. I'm not doing this. I'm doing this. So with my hand here, we'll start here. We'll tap and just take a deep breath. Then I tap on the center of my eye. Now this part is where our intuition lives. And this is me waking my intuition up. So I tap here as well and breathe in. And then we have this thing called the heart brain, where our heart actually thinks for us as well. So we want to wake that part up too. So we just find the heart center and we tap here as well. And then I go down to my belly button. So just an inch below my belly button, or even if you tap on your belly button, it's okay. We tap there. So what we're waking up is our root chakra, our solar plexus, our ability to be balanced and grounded. So we just tap there and breathe in. Then we move our hand up. So we want to touch the whole part of our head. So wherever your hand was, just move a bit up there to the next part where you haven't touched yet. And then we'll go back to the top. Tapping both sides of the brain, breathe in. Tapping center of the forehead or our intuition, breathe in. Tapping the heart brain, heart center, breathe in. And tapping on our belly button or below our belly button and breathe in. bring our hand up. And again, look for any space there. Tap. Tap on the left and right side of the brain. Breathe in. Tap on the front of the forehead, our intuition. Breathe in. Heart center or the heart brain. Breathe in. And the belly button. Breathe in. And finally, the last part, because my hand has covered my whole head already, find space again. Tap at the left and right side of the brain. Breathe in. Center of the forehead or intuition. Breathe in. Heart center or heart brain. Breathe in. And finally, belly button. Breathe in. So now we've tapped the whole part of the head. And now we will just do one each of the sides. So place both hands on each side of your head above your ear. So just like that. So don't cover your ear, just your head. And because we only have two hands, we lift one hand up and come back to the center of the head. Tap on the left and right side of the brain. Breathe in. Center of the forehead or intuition. Breathe in. Heart center or heart brain. Breathe in. And belly button. Breathe in. And place that one hand back at the side of your head above your ear and lift the other hand up and come back to the center of the head. Tap on the left and right side of the brain. Breathe in. Tap on the forehead or intuition. Breathe in. Heart center or heart brain. Breathe in. And finally, belly button. Breathe in. And place the hand back there for just a moment. And that was it. So that was the Cortices technique. It takes me less than 5 minutes a day to do it. You can even do it really quickly, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Next 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it as fast as you want or as slow as you want. But get it in if you can. Even if you try doing it once a week, just get it in because it will change your life. So now we'll incorporate some tapping around that. And as always, I'll start with a prayer. Dear God, please do your will for this tapping session. Please be the one to come over here and do this tapping for us. Please say the words for me. And please help us balance our energies according to your will. And we'll start with sleight of hand. I choose to balance my masculine and feminine energies easily and lovingly. Eyebrow. Masculine energy. It represents my ability to let go. It represents my father. Do I have any father wounds in my life? Do I have any trauma with my father? Or did I just never know my father and never have a relationship with him? No matter what my father wound is, I choose to recognize it and see the truth now. Being able to see the truth of my father wound will help me know how I can heal it. And I deserve to heal it. I deserve a balanced life. Whatever aspects of my father I did not like, and if he was never present and I didn't like that, then I choose to acknowledge it with respect right now. There's a reason why I didn't like those parts about my father. That is just one way I truly love myself. I'm able to know what's good and what's not good for me. But on a deep subconscious level, what are the parts of my father I have picked up for my own self? In what ways am I similar to my father? And again, if I've never met him, if he is not present physically or emotionally, then in what areas of my life am I not present in? All these things that I have picked up from my father, they have all been a loving act. But I choose to recognize I can love and honor my father without hurting myself, without losing my own identity. The parts of me that belong to my father that I have not been aware of, I allow myself to gently be aware of it now. And as I am more aware of how similar I am to my father, I choose to recognize which parts I like and which parts I do not. All the parts of my father that I don't want for myself, that maybe I realized or didn't realize that I have already in me. I lovingly and gently choose to bring it out. I lovingly and gently choose to hold it in my arms now, so I can prepare myself to let go of all of it. It doesn't have to be a drastic, intense action. I can do it really slowly. I can do it really gently. And I can do it really lovingly. And I imagine my father in front of me now. Dear Father, out of love and respect for you, I have picked up these things for myself. I choose to realize and notice. Picking up all of this from you never actually lightened your load. It never actually made things better for you. And so, with the same love and respect that I picked this up, I lovingly give it back to you, so that I may have my own identity and I can live in true freedom. I balance my masculine energy easily and lovingly. I choose to be good at boundaries. I choose to have strong boundaries in my life. I choose to have a good relationship with the world that is my home. And I choose to be free of all that does not serve me. But dear Father, this does not mean that I do not love you. In fact, I am choosing to love you in a much healthier way by living my best life. If I am a parent, then I know I just want my children to live their best life. And dear Father, I choose to recognize all the good in you, the strength you have had to live your own life, the strength you have had to have a child. And whether or not you were present in my life, I still thank you because I would not be here without you. I choose to recognize you are only doing the best you knew how to do, as I am only doing the best I know how. I allow myself to have the good from you in me. I allow myself to have a good relationship with my father and my father's family. And if I can't do that physically, then I choose to do it internally in my heart. I choose to start the process of forgiving you. Dear feminine energy, you exist inside of me. I could not have been born without my mother. And I have that wonderful feminine energy thriving in me. And I choose for it to thrive also externally. My feminine energy represents ability to receive. And I deserve to receive all the good this life has to offer. And I choose to work on my mother wound. I don't need to forgive my mother right now. But I choose to start the process of it. And I choose to do it very lovingly and very gently. And I can take as much time as I need. The bond with my mother can never break. And on a soul level, there will always be an abundance of love. Whether I have met my mother or not, whether I have a relationship with her or not, I choose to work on this part of myself because I deserve a good relationship with my own self I deserve to have a good relationship with my body. And abundance is my rightful inheritance. It is my right to be abundant. The first experience of life was when I was conceived. That is a successful story. My first experience in life is a success. And that can only mean one thing, that I was born with the setup to be successful. I was set up to be successful from the very beginning. And I can choose to make that my reality now. Any anger or resentment I may have for my mother, I choose to recognize that it is all out of love. I cannot be angry at someone I do not love. And clearly, I must love my mother. And clearly, I must really love myself. Because otherwise, I wouldn't be doing the work right now. And I imagine my mother in front of me now. Dear mother, you are my mother. You chose to give birth to me. And whether or not it feels like I was a choice, fact is, I was born. And that can only happen with choice. I was chosen by my mother, just as I have chosen her to be my mother. I chose her and my father because I wanted to have the experiences I knew I would by having them as my parents. And I choose to work on forgiving my mother. I choose to work on forgiving my father. Because I deserve a balanced life. A life full of love and abundance. And dear mother, all the parts of you that I do not like, that I have picked up for myself, I choose to recognize it has never lightened your load. It has never made life better for you. But it has hurt me. And if I am a parent, I know just how much I never want to see my children in pain. And I choose to believe my mother does not want to see me in pain, at least on a soul level. Whatever I have picked up, dear mother, that no longer serves me, I choose to gently take it out from me, hold it in my arms, and whenever I am ready, I choose to give it back to you with the same love and respect that I picked it up from you. I choose to honor you, my dear mother, by living the best parts of you in my life. I choose to remember all your goodness, And if I have no memories of you, I choose to still recognize that the love is always abundant from you, at least on a soul level. And I choose to live with that love in my life. And I allow that love to help me be successful. I allow that love to bring in so much abundance in my life, in health, in wealth, and in every other area of my life. I deserve to be free. I deserve to be loved. Proof of that is that I was simply born here, and that I have the capability to love. And at least once in my life, I know I must have received some love, some kindness. And I choose to focus on the love and kindness available in my life. Because what I focus on, that's where my energy goes. And that is what grows. And I want love to grow in my life. And one way I am doing that is by working on balancing my masculine and feminine energy easily and lovingly. I am loved. I choose to learn how to forgive. Forgiveness is just letting go. Forgiveness is just freedom. And I choose to be free. I choose to live my best life. I choose to be my most creative self. And I choose to be abundant with love in all areas of my life. And take a deep breath. Thank you so much. That was balancing our masculine and feminine energy tapping with a little bit of family constellation work. So, thank you.